guys, welcome back to Rocket Can, my fellow space tubers. Oh man, I was like so intimidated to say this line after so long. I am back here today with one of the major launches. You can say it as like a foundation stone in the space tourism industry. I am so much pumped for this stream. I can just even tell you. So, guys, how are you all? And just tell me, I mean, how much excited are you for this mission? I can't tell you. I am so much excited for this. I mean, okay, you will get that feeling which I'm experiencing as the time passes. Okay, so hi Ajay, hi Matthew, hi Clay, Dylan, hi Rinucci, sorry. I'm very bad at pronunciation, so pardon me for that. I am Rob Gaming. I'm good. My exams are going well, and right now, just we'll see. We are waiting for the stream to start, and just secure. Okay. We'll get to know about everything. So don't worry about it. You know how the stream goes, right? On this channel, you will get to know about everything. So just be with me, and we will coast through the journey like Richard Branson will coast through the space. Wow, what an analog, right? Okay. So right now, first of all, tell me how are you all? And right now, I am good. Clay, hi, Todd, hi, Francis Newton. This, okay. So excited, yes. And okay, so let's just start about getting into the Virgin Galactic now. Okay, so Virgin Galactic, what is it, right? So Virgin, that is a subsidiary of the Virgin organization, Virgin Group only. I mean, must have used some of the products from Virgin, and right now this is the Virgin Galactic, which is a company which is there to promote space tourism, right? You can see here, if I there is this section in their website, become an astronaut. You can literally just click on this. Okay, what you have to do to become an astronaut, I am telling you. Okay, you literally have to click on this. You have to fill up this form, click on submit, and then pay $250,000. That's it. And you will have your ride to the space, and you will become an astronaut. So this is what this company is. Recently their other subsidiary Virgin Orbit uh, went to the space and even to the orbit. Basically they went to the orbit. That was their first mission, the first commercial mission which they did, which they actually had a live stream. So that was a very successful one, and right now they have this one. Okay, good. Now let's have a look at their this here. Just a sec. Okay, the experience, what we are expected to see with the launch today. So the experience is nothing but the okay. Let me just have a little bit brief. Let me just brief you about the mission profile for this mission. So you can see that there is one thing called a space plane here. Where is it? I don't think so, but yeah, here you can see the space plane is actually strapped in between these two planes. These are, I won't say they are like two planes, but yeah, the actual space plane is strapped in between these two kind of capsules, aircraft capsules, so aircraft cockpit, yeah. Okay, so and this is their spaceship which actually goes to the space. So just like Virgin Orbit, what they do is they take off from a runway and then they fly up to 50,000 feet. Okay, so for Virgin Orbit, what did they do? They fly up to like 30,000 feet, which is around like 10 kilometers. They will fly up to around 50,000 feet, which is around 15 kilometers or so, and then they will release the space plane. Okay, so here you can see the release of the space plane, and then after the spaceship is released, the spaceship actually ignites its engine. This is placed here, and then spaceship rocket engine ignites, and the speed which it attains after the burning of its fuel. It is around little over Mach 3 and officially reaches space. Now, reaches space or crosses space, well, that is a little bit controversial right now, but soon it will not be. 80 kilometers is the standard for the US space flight. 100 kilometer is recognized internationally, but hear me out, okay. Right now there have been considerations going on, the proposals going on in the international community to just bring down that space Karman line, as they say, from 100 to 80. So technically you are flying into space, okay, you will be getting that experience of being in space. So yes, that is the thing. After that, it just reaches the apogee of around 300,000 feet, which is nothing but around 80 kilometers or 50 miles, just above 80 kilometers or 50 miles. And yeah, the full journey will be recorded by this 16 cameras on board. Hence, you don't have to carry your phones if you go with them. You don't have to actually carry your phones inside or any cameras instrument inside to record all those experiences. Virgin Galactic will do that for you. You can just feel the moment. You can just enjoy that very, that intense, or what should I say, a beautiful moment in space. I can't tell you even. I mean, I'm so excited for it. And then finally what it does is it has these wings which are rotatable, or what should I say, rotation enabled. Okay, yeah, they basically rotate, and they attain a feather-like configuration, which we will see, which helps in re-entry. And then you can see the ship's wing raise up to 60 degrees, and then it prepares for re-entry, and then it finally glide back to the runway. You can see from here, one thing is evident from here. You can see this thing. We don't have a wheel here. Literally, this is not a wheel. We do have wheels in this means the back side of it, but we don't have anything here. This is nothing but a kind of a skid which actually skids on the surface and provides like a brake for the space plane. So it is actually designed to wear out after each flight. It must be replaced also, and it helps as a braking surface to red space plane on the runway when it lands on it. So yes, that is the thing. And now we can have a look at, okay, just a sec. My streaming all right? Yeah. Okay. So now we can have a look at the actual thing which we are here for. Okay. Just a sec. Okay. We'll have a look at it in a second, but right now let's have a look at their space planes and their vehicle. So this is their configuration, in which you can see this is one plane, this is the another plane. The first of all, this configuration which you are right now seeing, in which the space plane is also attached to the actual plane, the aircraft, this is known as SpaceShipTwo. The whole configuration is known as SpaceShipTwo. Now, the White Knight 2 is nothing but this plane which actually carries the space plane. Okay, and this space plane is nothing but VSS Unity. So this is how the what should I, naming convention goes around. Whole thing Spaceship 2. This is White Knight 2, and this is you can say the VSS Unity. So the White Knight 2, you can see from its design only, it's a very different design from any spacecraft. So it's a aircraft. So it's a custom built aircraft, fully custom built aircraft, and very unique thing about this aircraft is evident from this fact. Okay, so there are two cockpit kind of I won't say cockpit, but capsules, aircraft capsules here, on this side and on this side. And on this side, we can see that it mimics this space plane here by having this kind of, I don't know what is the use of this thing. What should I say? Antenna, not antenna, but something is there, right? It is on this also, but that is not the case on here. And this is very much in plans. And why do they do this? Because one of them is actually have the pilots, which obviously operates this White Knight 2 vehicle, but the other one is like a simulator for the space plane. here you can actually go, the means, the future astronauts can go there, and experience the flight of the experience the flight basically when they will go for their endeavor. So you can see that it's a replica of this one, but it's used for training purposes. So that is the one. That is one thing. The dropping altitude, I already told you, 15 kilometers. This is how it looks like when it has dropped it, and then the Spaceship 2 is nothing but a reusable vehicle. Okay, so this one is, first of all, this full spacecraft is fully reusable, and the Spaceship 2 or VSS Unity has this one thing called the engine, obviously, to coast to the space, which it uses when the strat means the white knight 2 releases it in the atmosphere. So this is one technical diagram. I know I won't go into details of it, because I do have one better diagram which we can look at, but yes, right now what else is there? Nothing. It's like a mission profile. You can see here the wings of the spacecraft. First of all, it is like this, and then it rotates and makes that feather like configuration for re-entry, and basically going nose down for re-entry. It's not like in Kerbal Space Program what we do. We have like make our aircraft have our body of the aircraft face the heat. Here it is not going doing like that. Yes, it is entering the atmosphere nose down, and to gain the control over the re-entry, it is using these elevons which is there on the feathers. So that is one thing. Okay, now let's talk about its engine. The engine, that is very interesting to see. So this is their engine, a pretty simplified version of their engine. Their engine is named as rocket motor 2. It is a hybrid engine, which means it has both okay, so we do have time, right? Yeah, we do have time. So it is an hybrid motor which uses both of the fuels, which is means a solid rocket as well as the liquid fuel rocket. So what is the difference between these two, the solid and the liquid? I mean, what is the advantage, pros and cons of both of them? The major difference is not one thing only for the solid and the liquid fuel engine, is that the solids are not restartable, or I won't say not restartable, cannot be stopped. The solids cannot be stopped. The liquid fuels can be stopped and can be restarted also. But that is not the case for yeah, the liquid. Okay, what did I say? The solids can be stopped, can't be stopped. The liquids can be stopped, and liquids can be restarted. Fine. Okay, so this is one thing, right? But the hybrid motor, what does this do? In hybrid motor, the both of the means the advantages of both of the configuration is there. So look at this diagram here. We have this solid fuel rubber, which is actually containing the solid fuel, which is nothing but HTPB, industry standard game solid motor. HTPB is here, and for oxidizer, obviously, when something burns, you need an oxidizer, right? For oxidizer, they are using this nitrous oxide, which is in liquid form. It is in liquid form, stored in liquid form, but when it is used for ignition of the motor, it is obviously used in gaseous form. So they have this container in which the nitrous oxide comes, in gaseous form, releases into this solid motor, and then this ignition happens here, and then the whole engine ignites. So what is the advantage of this one? First of all, it's really simplifies the overall rocket design. First advantage. Second advantage, you get that the most wanted feature to stop the engine during a flight. You want that feature, and you get that from this configuration. Because how do you stop the engine for a hybrid motor? You just cut off this oxygen supply, that's it. When oxygen is not there, how can the solid rocket motor will burn, right? So that's the feature, the most wanted feature, I must say, for the crewed flight. You need to have that cut off ability for your mission. I mean, anything can go wrong in space, right? So you need to have something to cut off the engines, and then go with the plan. And obviously they have gone for solid rather than liquid fuel, and the reason being, okay, first of all, okay, I'll tell you about this only. This is how it looks like when it ignites. You can see the mark diamonds also here. It's very cool to see when this rocket motor ignites. Okay, so what was I saying? Yes, in, if you ask me why haven't they even gone with the liquid fueled engine, well, the answer is, first of all, you need to handle cryogenic fuels for that. Okay, so handling will be most difficult when you have to have a strato launch in which you will have like 1 hour of flying only on the air with that aircraft attached, the White Knight 2 attached. So handling of the cryogenic fuels to maintain the temperature would be very difficult. Okay, first of all, that's why they didn't go for liquid fuel. So now you must be wondering, well, for the other liquid fuel, the hypergolic fuels, which does not require that temperature, they could have gone with that. Yes, they could have gone with that. But again, those are toxic fuels. You for human space flight, you don't want them. So that's why they have gone with this hybrid motor, which is having that most wanted feature of engine shutting down, and then the simplification of solid rocket motor. So, okay, enough about the engine. Now just tell me, if you can see from the nozzle design here, it's a very different nozzle design from the things which we see in normal rockets. If you can see it here, it is like the cutout of the nozzle is very different. Can you see it from here? Can anyone tell me why is it so? Can anyone tell me? Okay, I will definitely take all your questions. But right now, I don't know what is going on in the chat. But can anyone tell me why the nozzle shape is like this? This is, I mean, the cutout for normal engines. What is it? The cutout is actually what do you call it? Circular. The cutout is circular. The nozzle cutout is circular for regular engines, but for this engine the cutout is elliptical. It is not circular. We have more area here and less area on the above section. And if you don't know, okay, let me just tell you why do we have this type of configuration for this engine. The simple answer is that it does not have a gimbal ability on this engine. Okay, now obviously the White Knight 2 will not take it to the space, right? It is the White Knight 2 has jet engines on it, and that requires the air, so it has to have like a 15-kilometer altitude. It takes it to 15-kilometer altitude, and then it goes. But here you can see, since it does not have the gimbal ability, so how it will manage the pitch, how it will do a pitch up maneuver so that it increases its apogee above 80 kilometer. We don't even have a gimbal on it, right? So that's why we have this engine cutout. Because of this engine cutout, we have a natural pitch up which happens. And if pilot does not move any buttons on, or controllers on the aircraft, it will fly up to the space no matter what. You can obviously control how you go into space by the elevons which are there on the wings, but that has some limitations. So that's why they have gone with this brilliant design of cutting the section of the nozzle so that it naturally produces a pitch up on its way to the space. Wow. Okay, moving on. This is how the deployment happens, and this is how the things here looks like. You can see here, these are the seats, and the seats are actually, the 6 passengers can go here, and they have a very high volumetric area for them to enjoy. They have so many windows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 windows almost, or 11 windows, I don't remember, but yeah, to experience the space as best you can. And the thing which I was talking about, that the wings rotate, you can see here, this is their normal configuration in which it flies. But during re-entry, it rotates the wings on this configuration so that it can have a natural nose down approach, and the re-entry could be controlled with these elements. That is the thing here. Vertical climb. Yes, Philip, you are absolutely right. We are 33 minutes until the liftoff, and yes, guys. Okay, so I think I have covered everything now. And what else is left? Yes, one more thing is left, and that is the Spaceport America. So they have constructed the Spaceport America just like what SpaceX is doing. SpaceX has constructed Boca Chica into Starbase, Texas, right? Similar to that, we have this Spaceport America in New Mexico, which they have converted the place into operations so that they can support the Virgin Galactic operations there. You can see that this is obviously one restaurant. This is how it looks like, and we should be seeing Elon Musk also on this date towards the Spaceport America. We'll have to see what do we have here now. One more thing is left, and that is this crew member. How can we forget about the crew members, man? Right? So okay, you have one image. Just a sec. So here we have. So we have 6 members going to space. Sir Richard Branson, obviously. We have Beth Moses, chief astronaut instructor. We have Colin Bennett, lead operation engineer. We have Sirisha Bandla, vice president of government affairs and research operations at Virgin Galactic. Sirisha Bandla is payload specialist on this mission, and she's an American, but her origin is from India. So that is some treat to watch for whosoever watching from India. One Indian American going to space, or this will be like the fourth Indian American to go to space, right? Okay, yeah. So and obviously it's Richard Branson, the founder of Virgin Galactic. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, I think we have covered everything. And let me see if we do have the stream yet. And I'll switch over to that now. Waiting for them to come alive, and till that time, can have a look at all those things that you want. Okay, cool. I don't know what is going on in the chat. Talking about rescue plan. Interesting. Someone asked about what is the rescue plan. Yes, before talking about the rescue plan, let me just tell you that they will experience around 4 minutes of zero gravity, in which they can, loosen their seat belts and float around in space. And the spaceship actually literally rotates in the in a one direction, in which the windows actually faces the earth. So basically, if I can have that image here real quick. Okay, just a sec. What happened? Yeah, here you can see the windows are actually located on the upper side of this space plane. So basically, it totally rotates on the other direction so that the passengers can have a good view of the um, Earth for 4 minutes. And talking about the rescue plan which they have, so rescue, first of all, yeah, shout out to Gareth Burgess for providing such an amazing infographic here, which actually gives us a total info about everything you need to know about the spacecraft. Okay, still waiting for the stream. Okay, we do have the stream now. Just a sec. I'll switch over to that in just one bit, and we should be good now. So now we can have a talk about anything that you want me to talk about. Talking about the rescue plan, yes, the rescue plan, I mean, it does not have any escape system as such, but obviously you don't need an escape system because the rocket stage is one stage only. The first stage is aircraft. So I mean, I don't think so you don't need any escape for that. I mean, if there is some problem with the aircraft, then literally the spaceship can just detach itself and glide back down towards the runway. Talking about what happens, what will be their procedures when something happens during the ignition of the rocket, or you can say that when the rocket engine is burning. First of all, that is a solid rocket motor and an hybrid motor. So basically, it's a hybrid of motor. So you can shut down the engine, and the engine basically does not have like very pressurized system in it. That's what I was talking about. In liquid fuel engines, you need one pressurized container. Here, you don't need as such that, right? There's just a solid rocket motor and one tank is there for nitrous oxide. But okay, that is the thing. So and it just burns for some time, which can be manageable, I suppose. And they have done this flight for so long, for so many times basically. So yeah, they are confident on their approach, and that's why they are putting Richard Branson, Sir Richard Branson, on this flight. So man, they must be very confident about what they do, and that's why they are putting in the man on this flight. Whoa, that guy's talking about the moon. Okay. Either Keegan asked, do you know what the approximate cost is to Virgin Electric to make this trip? The cost so high to cover cost to make the trip. I assume the space travel is expensive in and of itself. We actually don't know the total cost which they have for the space plane, means this mission, but we do know that one ticket for this flight, if you want to purchase, that costs around $250,000. So what you have to do is go onto the website, fill out a form, submit it, and then pay $250,000. You'll get a ticket. They'll cover all your training and everything, and then you can go to the space for 4 minutes. So that is one thing. And the payload specialist for this mission is Sirisha Bandla, Indian American, which I told you about, is the only one which will actually perform research at that time. Yes, she's a payload specialist, so she needs to do some research in which she has to do like perform some hand, what should I, actions on that payload, whatever research they're carrying at that point of time. And so I don't think so she will be enjoying that much, but okay, she'll at least be experiencing that zero gravity. Okay. It will take years to break even. No, I don't think so, Mark. Uh, First of all, this is a fully reusable thing, right? You don't need to make like thousands of them to make anything happen. This is a fully reusable craft that brings the space, the cost so down. So as the flights progresses and we had like flight every month, then you can say 12 flights an year, then the cost will significantly come down. So that is one thing. Do you think it will land safely? Okay, so Dobby the Ducky says, do you think it will land safely? So we do know about one incident that spaceship to had back in 2014 or 2013, I don't remember, but there was one incident in which there was one tragic loss of the crew, and the reason for that was that feather configuration, right, which I talked about it, which it uses during the re-entry. At that time, the pilot by mistake, or I don't know, it was a malfunction or what, he opened up the feathers during the ascent phase only. Okay. When the rocket engines were in its burning state. So he opened the feathers, and in that phase only, and then the spaceship, basically the space plane, just tilted over, flipped over, and it just broke. And we had a tragic loss of the crew, which actually did a very big impact on Virgin Galactic. They literally pushed their whole schedule like 6 to 7 years back. So that was one thing, but right now they have improved on that. They have ensured that that feather does not open up prematurely in the flight. So for no reason it will open up prematurely in the flight. It will have to cost, and when it comes down, then only it will be allowed to open. So that is one thing which they have taken care of. Other than that, we didn't have any problem with the spaceship, and I don't think so we will have any problem with this craft. It will land safely. So obviously CEO, Mr. Billionaire Sir Richard Branson is going on in this flight. So you can expect very well that we will be having like some greater amount of redundancy, at least for this flight. I must say that. Okay. It's delayed. Which technology is used in this craft? The plane is taxing. Oh, okay. Plane is taxing. Nah. Just a sec. Let me just see if we have any push of the schedule. Why haven't we got any feed yet? Just a sec. Oh, so we do have a schedule shift. Let me just update the. I should update the takeoff time, right? Or what? Let me just see. Yes, I should update the takeoff time, which is now this here. Uh, just a sec. Yes, so we do have some time now. Okay. And any other update? Let's just have a look if we have any other update here. So we are having like all kind of wishes here, everything here. You can see. Oh, Richard Branson, as always, walking down the corridor. Walk for the flight. That is cool, right? Okay, do we have any other thing here? Let me just check here. Now, we have any other thing new? Beautiful day to go to space. Exactly, it is beautiful. And Spaceport America is basically very beautiful also. They have constructed it like that. Hey, yeah. With a friend, big day ahead, wait to start the morning with a friend, feeling good, feeling excited, feeling ready, and we can see those two big bros there to support each other. And the next thing you know, Richard goes in his Unity, and Elon Musk takes his drag into space. And they race about who will reach the space first, right? Obviously, Falcon 9 will beat that considerably, but yeah. Okay. Just to say, but where is it? Yes, it has. The timing has changed a bit. That's why I've changed my timer. It's now takeoff time is 9 here. We should be having the stream also by then. So let's have a look at it. Okay. One thing which I actually wanted you to see was, let me just have a look at that. let's just see since we have some time now, let's just see the interior of the spacecraft, right? Because why not? That is one thing which everyone should be seeing. That is so cool. See this, just imagine this interior, and this is reality.
And we've tailored our seats for each individual astronaut. We've used the highest grade aluminium and carbon fiber manufacturing techniques, and we've cantilevered the structure from the cabin sidewalls. Your seat's also dynamic and enhances comfort during each stage of your flight. When you leave your seat in space, it reclines to maximize cabin space for you to enjoy weightlessness, and it remains reclined during re-entry, so we direct and optimize G-forces without detracting from the thrill of the ride. We've provided each astronaut with their own personal digital display within the seat backs. The display gives us the opportunity to share live flight data with you. So speed, G, the boost time that's remaining of your flight, all helping provide more memorable magic touches to your experience.
Exactly.
Under Armour manufactured the technical knit material. It's extremely lightweight and requires no stitching to just ensure that perfect fit onto your seat. We also worked closely with Seymour Powell to develop our colour and material palettes. We wanted a harmonious connection to your spacesuit, so we've used blue and teal colours and hues to work with that. But also, we've incorporated gentle nods of colour to space itself and the connection back to Earth. The cabin's lined with an extremely lightweight and soft engineered foam with a honeycomb structure. Functionally, we were able to improve thermal and acoustic qualities of the cabin, but the lining also provides a soft touch as you explore the cabin during weightlessness. Your view's the focus of your time in zero-G, and to guide you towards experiencing this incredible moment, we've got 17 windows, each bordered by a soft circular halo, which helps focus and frame your view. We've designed the halo edges to allow you to move around the cabin and to perfectly position yourself to view Earth below. In zero-G, the cabin effectively becomes a 360-degree climbing frame.
Wow.
We're fortunate enough to work alongside several astronauts at Virgin Galactic, and their experiences of space tell us that it's deep, deep black, and that Earth is extremely bright, giving us the most beautiful and natural light source on board. But we also know the importance of lighting in our environments and how we can use that to enhance your experience. So we've taken the opportunity to incorporate lighting into our spaceship as well. We use it functionally, for example, when you're boarding and preparing for your flight. We've also programmed it for different phases of your flight, whether it's using a calming color on your cruise up to release altitude, or we can add more vibrancy through the energetic rocket boost phase, or we turn it off completely whilst you're in space. And it's during this phase we let Earth itself provide the ultimate beautiful lighting.
Oh man, okay. So yes, okay, cool. We do have the stream, so let me just switch over to that. Just a sec. Just a sec.
To be fair, it might be because
Just a sec.
ongoing feud with Sir Richard Branson, Virgin CEO. And
Oh wow, so we have Stephen Gold hosting this thing.
Sir Big Baby here, having what some critics have called facial hair. That little tree sloth clinging to your chin.
The grinning goat man.
A cross between David Bowie and Pan the goat god.
His airline, but
They do share some good friendship there.
Obviously, I said all of that in character on a comedy show. So, Richard, I want you to know, as myself, sincerely, I meant every word. But there is one thing Richard and I do have in common. a deep, lifelong passion for space exploration. That's why Richard founded Virgin Galactic in 2004 with the dream of sending private citizens into space. Now, to do that, he needed to build every part of a whole new industry. He had to construct a spacecraft capable of the journey. Then, to launch these space planes, he had to help create the world's first commercial spaceport. And most importantly, he had to find the people capable of turning his dream into a reality, as well as people brave enough to get on a spaceship built by the guy who launched a soda this awful.
So we do have
Seriously,
something here.
he lost money selling sugar water. All aboard! Today marks the culmination of Branson's dream. He and his crew will set off on a supersonic voyage in which they'll achieve a maximum velocity of more than Mach 3.5 and ultimately enter zero gravity. Imagine staring out the window onto the vast expanse of space and seeing Earth below, our beautiful blue planet staring back. Unless,
Okay,
of
so
course,
there
you're the
is
guy in
some
the middle seat,
problem
then
at
you have
their
the
end.
astronaut sitting next to the window to put it all in perspective for you.
So we do
Oh, and
have
I'm being
those
told there
live
are
views
no middle
there.
seats in space. Thank you, science. It's been a dream of mine to go into space ever since I was a child. Unfortunately, I cannot be on the spacecraft today. I had a thing. Also, I was not technically invited. But Richard was generous enough to give me a spacecraft of my very own. And I will be using this model to give scientifically accurate play-by-play of today's historic events, as well as doing this.
Oh
The
man.
Virgin Galactic crew are an inspiration. An inspiration to be bold, to be audacious, and to never give up in the pursuit of even your wildest dreams. So let's now take you to where the action is happening, live in the studio at Spaceport America, where your other co-hosts are standing by. First, one of the newest members of the Virgin Galactic team. She's a science author, an expert in space exploration, a bioastronautic researcher, and most impressively, a TikTok star. Kelly Girardi. Great to have you here, Kelly. Next up, a man who has flown 2 space shuttle missions and spent time on the International Space Station, where he served as commander and performed a viral David Bowie cover. Here he is, the first man to do open mic in 0G, Chris Hadfield. Welcome, Chris.
Yeah.
And finally, your mission host for today. She's a structures operations engineer for Virgin Galactic, and fun fact, actually got married in the spaceship that will be taking the crew up today, Veronica McGowan. So now I turn it over to Veronica, Chris, and Kelly for more on today's historic flight.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you all, live from Spaceport America. It's a momentous day for Sir Richard Branson, a milestone.
Okay. I don't think so. There's a problem here. My end. Good.
For Virgin Galactic and a historic event for the future of spaceflight.
There is some delay here, I guess. Just a sec. I must say that he is a bit fit for his age. He's like 70 years old and he's still so energetic, so humble.
You look more prepared than I do.
You're late. Come on, get suited up. Let's go.
Open sesame.
We hope it is so.
To thrill.
Astronaut.
The spaceflight system was towed out to the runway and elegantly took to the skies on what is a beautiful morning here in the state of New Mexico. They're at approximately 30,000 feet in altitude and climbing as we speak. Our spaceflight system is comprised of 2 vehicles in a mated configuration. Our mothership Eve, named thoughtfully by Richard after his late mother Eve, and Spaceship Unity, named by the late Stephen Hawking as a vehicle that will unite the world through space. Once at the launch altitude and location, Eve will release Unity for a voyage to space. So today is the day, everyone. Chris, what is the significance of today's flight?
Highly significant.
I love it when the stuff of dreams becomes a reality. And we've been dreaming of commercial space flight, of people being able to fly in space. I mean, since the very first pioneers started flying, the X-15, which was the wonderful program in the 60s, was so much like the profile that they're going to follow today. And then the Ansari X Prize to try and push the limits. That is very much the DNA that's on this bottle, in fact, the DNA that has allowed this vehicle to fly. And it is like all of those pioneers and the flight today, you know, they pried the door open initially, but this crew today is really pushing it open permanently. And I'm really excited for the flight, but I think it's so significant professionally, technically, but personally for the people on board.
Absolutely, and you mentioned opening up that doorway. Kelly, you're one of the people that's going to be going through that doorway soon. We are so thrilled to have you here to get a preview of what you're going to experience on a Virgin Galactic mission in the not-too-distant future. You've got to be getting pretty excited, right?
Incredibly excited. You know, this is an emotional day, right? Those doors are opening for the next generation of astronauts. Exactly. I feel like we have front row seats to the final frontier today, and I'm so excited to get a taste of what I'm going to experience soon.
Definitely. Well, I'm so thrilled to have you here. And you too, Chris. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this. Let's take a look at what we've got in store for the live stream. So while Mothership Eve is transporting Spaceship Unity to the launch point, we'll check in with the crew and the preparations that went into today's flight. We'll also share some perspective on the Virgin Galactic mission, so who we are, what we do, and our vision for commercial space travel in the 21st century. Next, we'll give you a guided tour through the Virgin Galactic experience, showing you what our astronauts will see and do throughout their stay, both on the ground and on their life-changing journey into space. Once we've reached the launch altitude and location, we'll see the moment when Spaceship Unity is released from Mothership Eve and accelerates into space, all coming to you live. So there's some incredible energy building here at Spaceport, and we're happy to have some special guests on site taking in this experience. My co-host Kevin. Kevin, what's the vibe like down there?
Thanks, Veronica. I am currently here at Spaceport America's hangar floor, where the ships usually reside, but as you just saw, they're on their way to space. Right behind me, I have the rocket motors we use for launch, and to my left, a very important person, CEO of Virgin Galactic, Michael Cole-Glazer. Michael, good to see you.
It's great to be here, Kevin.
Michael, I have one question for you, and that is, what does today mean?
Kevin, this is a landmark moment for Virgin Galactic. It's a landmark moment for the new commercial space industry, and it certainly is a landmark moment for our founder, Sir Richard Branson, who right now is showing that when you have the fortitude to follow your dream, you can make a hugely profound impact on the world. It's a historic moment, because today we are endeavoring to open access to space for all. Can you imagine? Being up there and looking back down has to be one of the most amazing feelings, and we can't wait for more people to experience it. I have to say how proud I am, Kevin, to have all my friends and colleagues who are today's crew.
We can see the rocket motor 2 design there. We can see that cutout section, guys. Do you see that nozzle there? Wow. That is the solid rocket motor used in this, the rocket motor 2. That is what is behind there. Wow.
I'm going to be out in the street, so I'll see you guys in a little bit. But
that is one good thing there.
Virgin Galactic's mission of sending humans into space requires tenacity, innovation, and an unparalleled drive to succeed. Turns out pioneering a new form of space travel is a tough job, possibly even tougher than my job, where I talk to celebrities for 1 hour a day. But the Virgin Galactic space is to make space itself more accessible and approachable.
Line 3.
Hello.
Hi.
Have you ever thought about going into space, Richard?
Oh wow, this is the history of how he
The moon
made
landing
this
was
thing.
a catalytic moment
Listen
for
to
me.
them.
I remember my dad taking me outside onto the village green, and we just looked up at the moon. I really did think that myself and many other young people would one day be able to go into space. I waited and I waited and waited for that opportunity, and it never came. They got me thinking. I went to the registry office and I registered the name Virgin Galactic Airways.
It's a brilliant innovation story. The origins of spaceflight at the time, it was big government. The X Prize was a chance to turn that into a much more personal spaceflight experience.
Spaceship One claimed the X Prize, and it proved the dream was possible. This was the first private venture to go to space, return safely, and do it again just 2 weeks later.
And then from there, we just started expanding. We knew we wanted a bigger system. We wanted something that you could float about the cabin, actually experience zero gravity.
Virgin Galactic offers the first real platform where we can actually open it up to make space for all of us.
We build on the shoulders of giants, but we want to be that first baseline for Earth and actually deliver on that promise.
We are changing the way humanity views space. We've taken the impossible and we're making it inevitable.
I always want to celebrate the team on this. You need heart. You need the best minds. You need the best humans to work on programs like this.
The sky is no longer the limit for us.
This is an inflection point in human history.
2 astronauts on a tiny television inspired a kid from England. Imagine what greatness can come from a generation seeing Earth from space.
You're seeing your home planet. It's a real connection with the Earth. It grounds you and it feels timeless.
I think in the same way that I was inspired by the moon landing.
Release. Fire.
I really hope that there will be a world who will be captivated and inspired about the possibility of them going to space one day.
Have you ever thought about going into space, Richard?
I'd love to go into space. I think there could be nothing nicer. So if you're building a spacecraft, I'd love to come with you on it.
Okay, that was one nice thing, but yes, fully agree with Sparkle fam. I would have wanted those astronaut views as well as how do they enter the craft and all those things, but that's how it is. So yeah.
Footages now and see what we've got here. We are already at 40,000 feet. You can already see the incredible view and the sky starting to darken there. This is already higher than what most regular commercial airliners will travel at. So I'm sure all of our astronauts are taking in that view already and getting really excited and prepared for the mission. Now, Kelly, we hope to connect live with Richard throughout the show here. What would be going through your mind if you were on board with him right now?
Gosh, you know, aside from the overwhelming excitement, right, I think it would just be a sense of awe, the hard work and the vision that it took to get to today, and the magnitude of what it means for the next generation of humans who are going to experience the wonder of spaceflight.
Absolutely. I mean, this is certainly the dawn of a new space age, and Mothership Eve is currently ascending still. We're already over 40,000 feet. Our target launch altitude for today is 45,000 feet. But in addition to that launch altitude, we also have a designated release point within the airspace. So while you may see us get to altitude rather quickly, we'll continue to complete our flight path until we get to that designated launch point.
Okay.
So everything's looking really good. Again, they're over 40,000 feet now, and just a beautiful view you get there already. I imagine they're just getting really excited for their upcoming space flight. So speaking of the crew on board, let's take a look at the folks in flight today. Virgin Galactic pilots are without a doubt among the very best of the best. They're some of the most experienced pilots in the world, and there are very few flying machines on Earth or off Earth that these professionals haven't flown. In fact, 4 of our pilots are among the very few in history who can lay claim to the title of astronaut. And 2 of them are heading to space again today. Let's meet the crew now. We'll begin with the folks who are supporting today's flight in the chase plane, giving us visuals on the spaceflight system while airborne. Pilot in command of our chase plane today is Jamil Janjua. He's completed over 4,000 flying hours in 48 different vehicles throughout his career.
And let me just tell you guys that this space plane is basically fully manual. I mean, it does not even have a fly-by-wire autonomous system. Literally everything is controlled by the pilots only, nothing from the computers. And that's what I know. So, yep, it is fully manual. I must say that we have seen autonomous spacecrafts, autonomous space planes, and everything, but here we have this manual space plane which will be controlled by these two highly skilled pilots. That's why we need those pilots there. So, yeah.
In the right seat, who's logged more than 6,700 hours in her 32-year flying career. And Kelly is also a pilot with Virgin Orbit, our sister space company, and she just flew their successful launch the other week. Piloting Spaceship Unity today, we have our chief pilot and astronaut, Dave Mackay. Dave's been with Virgin Companies for over 25 years now and has more than 14,000 hours of flight time to his credit. Just incredible, and spanning no fewer than 140 different types of aircraft. With Dave is astronaut Mike Masucci. Mike recently passed more than 10,000 hours of logged flight in a career that's put him in the cockpit of more than 80 different types of aircraft.
Exactly. The thing is that why are they showing all this is to, excite the normal people which does not understand space. So they are more, comfortable with all these scenes, the humans talking and all those things. I think that is the reason why they are showing all this thing.
Sarisha Bandla. I'll be testing the researcher experience. Virgin Galactic is opening up the opportunity to go to space for everyone. This is a whole new era to get people from different backgrounds, different geographies, different communities into space. And it's giving researchers the opportunity to fly with their payloads. And that is unheard of. They can take the work that they've been doing on Earth to space. And I'm so excited to see where the community takes it in the future.
Astronaut 003, Colin Bennett. I'll be evaluating cabin procedures during boost and weightlessness. When I was younger, I assumed that space was only available to a very select few. I had no idea myself that I would ever be in a position to go to space, but here I am. And how awesome it's going to be to be a part of the journey of opening this up to hundreds and then thousands of more people in the future.
Astronaut 002, Beth Moses. I'll be spaceship cabin lead and test director. I cannot remember not dreaming of going to space. There's the little tiny kid looking up at the stars, the little girl making model rockets. It was part of my childhood. I think it's a very natural, human, innate curiosity. We're all explorers and adventurers, so I really don't remember an age or a moment where I discovered space. I just always remember dreaming of going to space.
Exactly, and there you go, the man.
I'll be evaluating the customer spaceflight experience.
Astronaut 001, what a title to have. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited to hear who gets the spot of 007 as well. So let's hear more about the man who has the license to thrill.
Okay, so yes, fully agree with you guys, but
now
still
say what
we
you
are
want
here.
about Richard Branson, and I have. He has left an indelible mark in the world of business, travel, and entertainment. And it's all been fueled by his restless sense of adventure. And where did Richard get that intrepid spirit? His mother, Eve Branson. She taught Richard to be bold, to be brave, and Richard knows for many reasons today would not be possible without Eve. And he's penned a special letter in tribute to her.
Yes, fully agree with that. Ether, Heather, Keegan, I'm bad at pronouncing, so pardon me
You
for
always
that.
told me to reach for the stars. Well, I took my own winding road, but I always knew to follow your lead. You always pushed us to our limits. When I was a child, you threw me out of the car miles from our house and urged me to find my own way home. You let me jump into a river to sink or swim. You and Dad taught me and my sisters independence and loved us with fierceness and tenderness. You were
I
always an
can't do
adventurer.
that, Debbie.
You took glider lessons dressed as a boy, enlisted during World War II, toured Germany as a ballet dancer after the war. You flew treacherous routes as intrepid cabin crew for startup airlines. You took us into the great unknown on family holidays. You treated every day as a chance to explore. Before the word existed, you were always an entrepreneur. You helped make ends meet by creating your own small businesses. You showed me how to grow a company, how to treat people, how to be creative, how to balance work and play.
I would very much like to do my commentary also, but there will be some people who would like to listen. So I don't know what to do.
Open humility, honesty and happiness. You showed us the value of kindness, the magic of laughter, the beauty of music, and the joy of family. You were always my guiding light at Virgin Galactic. You shared with me that the day we named our mothership VMS Eve was one of your happiest. You always knew Eve would start my journey to space one day, just as I always knew you would do the impossible for me. Well, Mum, our mothership, which carries your name, will carry the next generation of dreamers into space.
Wow,
you were
that
always
is
a
so
dreamer.
cool.
You urged me to strive for every opportunity I saw. You told me to chase my wildest fantasies and to live life to the full. Well, the brave may not live forever, but the cautious do not live at all. How you lived, how you loved, and how you are missed. Dad always said, "Isn't life wonderful?" And you both showed us it was.
I mean, that is so sweet. That is seriously so sweet.
Such a beautiful letter. Eve Branson really was an inspiration to all of us here at Virgin Galactic. If you're just now tuning in, my name is Veronica McGowan. I'm a structures operations engineer here at Virgin Galactic. Alongside me is astronaut Chris Hadfield and future astronaut Kelly Girardi. So great to have you guys here. Earlier today, we saw Richard and his crew make their way
Okay,
down
so
to
okay, let's just
Spaceport
see that
America,
finally.
seeing their families off before they
Finally.
were escorted to our spaceflight system, where final inspections and preparations were made before takeoff. They were driven to the runway in our fleet of Land Rovers, and Land Rover is our exclusive automotive partner, and they help with day-to-day operations. And in fact, we have a bespoke vehicle that we designed with them called the Astronaut Edition. And this is exclusively available to Virgin Galactic future astronauts, and it's the one that drove Richard to to Spaceship Unity this morning. So we're delighted to have Land Rover as a part of the team. And right now, our crew are on their way to space. Let's check in on them via our onboard camera footage.
And there we have, guys.
Wow,
this
look
is
at
the
that
onboard
view already,
footage.
and you can see.
So we have this thing here. So we have wheels up, release, boost, 0G, apogee, re-entry, and glide, which you can see here. So we are around T minus 15 minutes and 38 seconds. 45,000 altitude, 45,000 meters is altitude. Speed is 300 miles an hour, Mach 0.5. That is what we have right now. So let me correct my timer also according to that. Looking good right now. Wow.
Today, but they will all be focused on the task at hand, as you said, and preparing themselves to run through their individual test points. And on the subject of testing, today's spaceflight is an opportunity for us to evaluate our cabin experience. It's the environment where our passengers will cross the 50-mile border, defined by NASA as the entry to space. Let's hear more about the transformative journey that our crew are on.
You shall. Oh, hello. I was just contemplating the wonder of innovation. You know, back in 1860, it took 10 days for the Pony Express to deliver a letter from Missouri to the toilet while they vacation on the other side of the world. Progress. But while some technology has grown exponentially, others have remained practically the same. Planes still travel at the same speed they did 50 years ago. We still use the same ground launch system from the early days of space travel, and they haven't come out with a new snow cone machine in years. That's where the innovations of Virgin Galactic come in.
So
What does spaceflight with Virgin Galactic entail? Well, it has a unique combination of revolutionary design innovations.
So let me just speak about this launch for whosoever is new here. Let me just tell you what you are about to see. Okay, so we have this SpaceShipTwo, which means the actual space plane, which will go to the orbit, not the orbit, sorry, the suborbital trajectory, basically space. And then we have the plane, which is actually carrying it, which is not going to space. It will come down. And you can see here. Okay, actually she is telling the mission profile.
To the launch altitude of around 50,000 feet, bypassing the thickest parts of the Earth's atmosphere, making it far more energy efficient and far more comfortable for the passengers inside. When the vehicles have reached the launch altitude and location, Mission Control provides clearance for release.
Release.
The pilots activate the launch and set spaceship free. Within seconds, the rocket motor ignites as the vehicle starts its rapid ascent toward the stars. During this awe-inspiring journey, the spaceship reaches speeds of up to 3 times the speed of sound. And out the window, passengers will watch the color change from blue through indigo, and then to the iconic inky black as they soar into space.
Whoa!
Once the rocket motor shuts down, passengers will unbuckle their seatbelts and float effortlessly around the cabin, enjoying the childlike freedom of zero gravity. The cabin becomes a spacious, 3-dimensional playground as passengers experience space firsthand, helmet-free. The ship has an incredible 17 windows, and passengers won't be able to resist being drawn towards the undeniable, euphoric beauty that lies beneath, as planet Earth looks right back at them in all her majesty. Whilst enjoying weightlessness and the life-changing view, the vehicle is preparing itself for re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere, utilizing the second design innovation of Virgin Galactic's space system, the feather.
There's FPGs.
Re-entry is arguably the most challenging aspect of space travel and has largely been approached in 2 ways, with winged vehicles or with capsule spacecraft. The revolutionary aspect of Virgin Galactic feather technology is that it enables the vehicle to act like a winged vehicle when it is advantageous to be a winged vehicle, and then behave as a capsule when a capsule design gives you the advantage. On the way to space, the spaceship folds in half, with the booms moving upward to a 60-degree position as our pilots put the vehicle into an elegant backflip. This points the windows straight back towards Earth, offering passengers astounding and unobstructed views. This maneuver also allows the vehicle to behave like a capsule on re-entry, spreading the friction heat generated from re-entering the Earth's atmosphere across the entire underside of the spaceship, and aerodynamically enabling it to reorient itself from any position. Once the ship has slowed down and starts to travel through the thicker parts of the Earth's atmosphere, where a winged vehicle is advantageous for maneuverability, the booms come back down from their feather position, and the spaceship gently glides back home safely and smoothly, ensuring a thrilling yet comfortable ride for those on board, and landing on the same runway it took off from. A truly extraordinary design, fit for an out-of-this-world experience.
Now, I must say that they have done a pretty good thing there to explain what is actually going to happen. So you had that.
That is some next-level space engineering. I love how its re-entry is feathered, just like Richard's hair. And I imagine it must be an emotional and life-changing moment to experience zero-G and see our fragile planet floating in the depths of space. I would go up in a minute if my wife would let me. How about you, Veronica?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that would be an offer too good to refuse. Now, Chris, I'm sure you'd agree that the experience that Richard is having right now is probably a lot more comfortable than your launches.
Yeah, I had a chance to fly as part of the space shuttle crew twice, and then I flew on the Russian ship as the pilot once. And it's a little capsule, like they were talking about winged and capsule vehicles. But both of them needed a rocket to get them up above the atmosphere. And the beauty of what Sir Richard and his crew are doing now is that they've had the mothership Eve to carry them gently up. So yeah, they're much more comfortable than I was at this stage, getting ready for the second engine and the rockets to ignite there.
Yeah, I can imagine. And Kelly, now I know you've experienced zero-G already in some parabolic flights. Your spaceflight will surely be an extension, right, of that zero-G time. What are you most looking forward to in terms of conducting experiments in that environment?
Yeah, exactly. Like Veronica said, I've done a number of parabolic research flights here on Earth where the aircraft takes this roller coaster profile to simulate zero-G seconds at a time. But during a dedicated research mission with Virgin Galactic, I am most looking forward to that continuous, uninterrupted minutes worth of microgravity.
So we are around T-minus 7 minutes until we have the release. And right now everything is looking good. We can see that the altitude is 46,000 kilometers and 46,000 meters, sorry. And everything is looking good right now. We don't have the views from inside the cabin, but I suppose we should be having something once the flight is over. So we'll have to wait and see.
Over to our onboard camera footage for the whole portion of the flight here until landing. I am hearing we're in the middle of our L-10 checks. And L-10, it means we're approximately 10 minutes out from the moment when Mothership Eve releases Spaceship Unity. And this is based on an estimated time of arrival to that release point. So timing may vary a little bit, but the closer we get to that point, the more accurate the estimate becomes. And right now we're about 6 minutes out. So up until L-10, Eve is in full mothership mode, carrying Spaceship Unity to altitude and providing her, through essentially an umbilical cord with electrical power, system heat, and cabin pressurization. And this air is conditioned, so we can keep folks cool on the ground for hot summer days like today, and heated at high altitudes where things get a little bit cooler to keep the pilots and the passengers comfortable.
That is needed. So
at
finally,
L-10, Spaceship Unity switches to her own battery power for avionics and control systems and performs electrical checks, feather system checks, flight control checks, and more. And about each check here. These days, more and more systems are becoming automated, especially in aircraft and spacecraft. And what's really exciting about the Virgin Galactic spaceflight system is that our crew truly are hands-on with the piloting throughout the flight. Oh, there's Sir Richard Branson now.
Finally.
It's so exciting to see them in the back. I'm sure they are just getting incredibly excited.
Finally,
and of course, as mentioned earlier, we have Dave and Mike up front. We have an amazing team of pilots here, and they just love to pilot a vehicle that is arguably the most exciting vehicle in the world to fly. And I imagine, this also provides passengers with an additional level of comfort, knowing they have crew members with them throughout the duration of the flight.
Whoa.
There they are again, just moments away at this point. It's looking like we're about 4 minutes and 20 seconds out now.
Man, this looks so phenomenal, I must say that. And one subscriber asked whether I will go to Virgin Galactic if I had that amount of money. I would definitely enjoy one orbital flight rather than a suborbital. That would be my first priority if I had to choose something. Otherwise, if I have to, choose from the suborbitals, yes, Virgin Galactic will be my first choice, only and only because of that interior, which will actually allow me to float. They have like a good amount of area, and we can enjoy that view from the space. That is the main thing. I know I would be liking the rocket experience, but still, that is the thing which I would love to see.
Release from MCC. And that's shorthand for our Mission Control Center. We have 2 MCCs supporting today. Our primary Horizon is located here at Spaceport America, and they're being supported by the Oculus Mission Control Center at our manufacturing base in Mojave, California. These teams consist of experts across various departments and disciplines within the company, and they're verifying checks with the crew today every step of the way. All right, and I've just heard from MCC that our L-4 checks are complete. We are roughly 3 minutes out from release at this point. It's getting really exciting.
I'm so excited right now.
I can feel the anticipation building just watching the screen and looking at their faces.
Whoa,
Look at
man,
that.
this
They've
is
already got
looking
big
good.
smiles on.
They will be having those smiles.
Received clearance for release on time from Mission Control Center.
Yes.
So we are 2 minutes and 30 seconds out now.
So guys, here we are. This is the moment of the truth. The T-2 minutes, 20 minutes, and we will be a T-2 minutes and 20 seconds, and we will be seeing one epic moment in the space tourism history, and Richard Branson will become the first billionaire to visit space. That would be so cool.
Mothership pilots are actually the ones that engage the release, setting Unity free. So we have actions for both the mothership pilots and the spaceship pilots, so they're in coordination and all agree on the launch.
We are 46 kilometers in 46,000 feet in
It's a
altitude.
hugely exciting and focused moment right now.
Definitely. 1 minute and 30 seconds.
130 seconds. Okay, this is really looking good right
The
now.
spaceship pilots are also going to push the stick all the way forward to prepare for release. And
I'm
things
getting
happen
so
pretty
excited.
quickly after the release. So the pilots are going to light the rocket motor and they're going to accelerate in level flight until they reach Mach 1, at which point they'll start what we call the gamma turn, where we turn directly up and head to space.
Guys, T-1 minute. Now, this is the moment which we were waiting for. T-1 minute 50 seconds. The White Knight 2 has almost done its job. Now it's the turn for the SpaceShipTwo or the VSS Unity to fire up its engine and get those 6 passengers to the space. 40 seconds, T-minus 40 seconds right now to release. Man, this is a very historic moment which we will be seeing right now. Let's just...
The spaceship pilots are arming the launch pylon now.
Okay, now just listen up and enjoy the
We are
launch to
armed
the
for
space.
release. 20 seconds.
T-minus 20, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11,
10 seconds.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
3, 2, 1. Release,
and
release.
We
Clean
saw
release.
it, and
Ignition.
we have the ignition.
Good rocket motor
Whoa.
burn.
This
There's
is
Mach 1
so cool.
trimming now.
We can see the rocket. Oh man, I just don't. We can see the altitude rapidly increasing, the speed rapidly increasing, the Mach 1.4. We can see
Trim
that.
complete. Unity is pointed directly up and heading to space. Things are looking great. We are
Whoa,
25
look
seconds
at
into
this
the burn
beauty.
now, approaching Mach 2.
Elegant metal out there.
30 seconds, Mach
Those
2.
Mach diamonds.
Everything's looking really good and stable. 40 seconds.
Wow, man, this is so cool.
45 seconds.
Seriously accelerating so fast right now.
50
we can see
seconds,
that,
approaching Mach 3.
and we should be seeing the cutoff
There's Mach 3.
right now, anytime now.
And 60 seconds.
And
And that is
there
a
you
full
go.
duration burn, folks. We are headed to space. And the passengers in the
Wow.
back have been cleared to unstrap. Our predicted apogee is 279,000 feet and climbing.
And we
The
can
pilots are
see
now
that
unlocking the feather, and
that was the
as soon as
nitrous oxide dump which you just saw.
Spaceship Unity, this is normal. We want those windows pointed down towards the Earth to maximize that incredible view.
And I would
So
love to
feather
see
is coming
those.
up now, and the pilots are also enabling the RCS, or reaction control system, which is what they'll use to control the attitude of the vehicle while we're outside the atmosphere.
Please give us those cockpit views inside the capsule. I would love to see
All
what
right,
they are
feather is
doing.
all the way up. We are at about 250,000 feet now and climbing. As soon as we cross the boundary to space, we'll hear a word from our founder, Sir Richard Branson.
Oh man, that launch was so cool.
Welcome to
I must
Space
say
Unity
that.
22.
Just waiting for that word from Mr. Richard. Right now it is coasting towards the apogee. We can see that the engines are not running, but again, it is coasting towards the apogee. It is moving upwards. That is.
So it doesn't sound like we're
Whoa, whoa,
cameras
whoa, whoa.
recording things on board today, and we'll be sure to capture his magical words and share them with the world when they're available.
Okay, so we won't be
We
getting the
reached
views.
apogee
Cool.
282,000 feet. Remember the day, remember where you are, and remember who you shared this with, and remember the name Virgin Galactic, because today, space is virgin territory. The culmination of a life's work, more than a half a century since the world rejoiced in and was transformed by humans leaving planet Earth, Sir Richard Branson fulfills his long-held dream of experiencing space with his crew. Congratulations again, Richard, and congratulations also to Sarisha and Colin on becoming astronauts today. And welcome back to space to Dave, Mike, and Beth.
And we can see those views.
Oh, you can see them now?
Although the reception is not very good from the space, we can understand that right now it has reached the apogee and now it is falling down.
So we are on the re-entry portion of our flight now, and the mission specialists are heading back to their seats. Our training team has worked really hard on this portion of the flight to make it very natural and intuitive for passengers.
Right now they are on
Now, when we
free
talk about
fall,
space travel, a lot of people know and expect the boost portion of the flight to be loud and thrilling. But what's interesting is re-entry is also very similar, as supersonic air is flowing over the vehicle in the feathered configuration. Shock waves form on top of the cabin, which are audible to those inside. And for those of you on site watching on the ground, you should be able to hear a double sonic boom as Spaceship Unity once again breaks the sound barrier.
And we have the onboard views. Wow, the Earth looks phenomenal from here. Right now it is configured for re-entry here. We can see the altitude is rapidly decreasing. The vehicle is coming down, guys, now. And yes, it is like as she said, greater than the speed of sound right now. And
all right, folks, we are now subsonic.
Exactly, subsonic.
Just under 75,000 feet in altitude.
So it is now coasting down. It should be able to go to the runway now. Glide back to the runway again. No engines will be used. Only the gliding portion will be there. And let me just remind you, this is whatever you are seeing is the work of the highly skilled
this is our first time
pilots.
transmitting HD.
I mean the highly skilled pilots there, because there is no autonomous system inside this thing, not even the fly-by-wire configuration. So everything is controlled manually by the pilot. So there you can see that those beautiful views, and whatever you can see is the work of the pilots. So hats off to them.
Now, as the feather comes down, the nose of spaceship is going to drop. This is normal and expected. Once that feather's down and locked, the pilots will begin a gentle pull up to a level attitude. And I'm hearing the feather is down and locked now.
It's locked. It is coming down.
So at this point, Spaceship Unity is a glider, so it's all about balancing her potential and kinetic energy. So if the pilots want to go faster, they point the nose down, and if they want to go slower, they bring the nose up.
Technically, I mean...
And right now I'm hearing the crews listening to a special soundtrack for the glide. It's the latest release from Khalid, a track called New Normal. And all of us will get to hear that on Earth during our celebration, so stick around for that.
Okay,
I don't know
exactly.
about you all, but I am still feeling overwhelmed and excited about what we just witnessed. And there's one person in particular who's got to be having all of the feels right now. You can see him sending a congratulatory shake to his passenger, Colin Bennett, there with him. Let's see if we can connect with the crew again here.
Is manual dump to 200.
We would have loved to hear the mission control too, but again, now it is in the gliding configuration, which you can see here.
So, Richard, you just went to space. This has got to be the ultimate birthday present for you. What was it like?
Oh, are we talking to Richard? Cool. Reception is still not good. We can see that. Hmm. Well, whosoever is being paid, but I am not getting paid to get excited.
All right,
so,
folks, again, sorry, we're
yes.
not getting that transmission through the live broadcast. But again, we do have lots of recording devices aboard the spaceship, and we will be sure to release some footage of Richard and the crew up there today.
Richard is talking now on CNN. Okay. I must say that this whole flight was more focused on getting more customers on board, which makes sense also. For us spaceflight people, it was not a very good stream, I must say that. But again, the launch is launch, and that beautiful marked diamonds, oh my god.
Lifetime. That was really one day to be able to experience it. It's a complete experience of a lifetime. And now I'm looking down at a beautiful spaceport. Congratulations to everybody for creating such a beautiful, beautiful place. Congratulations to all our wonderful team at Virgin Galactic for 17 years of hard work to get us this far.
It's looking a bit emotional too, which obviously makes sense.
All right, so I'm so happy we could catch a little part of that. It seems like there's a little bit of a delay in the transmission there. It does have a long way to travel. But you could tell by the smiles on their faces, they just had the ride of their lives. We are so excited for them to land and party the rest of the day with, like astronauts, in the typical Virgin fashion.
And we can see those solid boosters, particles on the nozzle also. Seriously, man, they had, he must be having like the best experience of his life.
Descending, and as I mentioned earlier, Unity is a glider at this point. So the pilots right now are discussing their energy management plan, and pretty shortly here they'll be meeting up with our chase aircraft with Jamil and Patrick to get some really cool visuals of Spaceship Unity.
The total 0G time for this flight was around 4 minutes. So yeah, that
now,
was
as the
fun.
crew and spaceship make their way across the desert, they are gliding over one of the most remarkable landscapes in the United States and the largest desert in North America, the Chihuahuan Desert. The area around Spaceport includes more than 6,000 square miles of restricted airspace and high desert, which is one of the reasons it was built here. And of course, our future astronauts will be able to take in so much of that natural beauty. And, of course, we also have White Sands nearby. White Sands National Park is just to our east. It's visible right over the Black Range Mountains. White Sands, of course, has been the backdrop for so many films, commercials, and music videos, and it's known for having the largest gypsum dune field on the planet.
Khalid's music.
I mean, yes, all those things. We will get to hear their experience from when they will come back. I mean, when they will land. So that is one thing. But I must say, and I will say it again and again for other flights also, that whosoever goes to space does experience one lifetime experience. I must say that, and that is like the most beautiful, the most what should I say? Amazing thing which you can experience in your life. I must say that weightlessness, the overview effect of the space, and the Mother Earth, the where you live, actually you get to see it from a very good perspective, which actually changes your perspective for the life too. So yes, that is one thing. They aren't in space spot, but they did manage to go in space. Right now they're descending, they're not ascending. So yes, right now they're just descending, gliding back towards the runway.
Flight from New Mexico, we reached out to the Zia Pueblo, who gave us permission to use their sun symbol on our spaceship. This symbol is also a part of the New Mexico state flag, and it's embedded with symbolic meaning. The number 4 is sacred to the Zia people, and the emblem represents the 4 directions, the 4 seasons, the 4 times of day, and the 4 phases of life. We are honored and proud to feature this perfectly balanced symbol on Spaceship Unity's tail cone, as we also celebrate our new home.
I just can't, imagine. Oh, we can see those drone
Oh, you can
ships.
see the chase in the background there, outside of Richard's window.
Exactly.
The pilots are coordinating with Chase now and discussing their energy management plan. They're at about 9,500 feet in altitude, and the runway out here at Spaceport America is around 4,600 feet in altitude.
We can actually see the runway also, if I'm not wrong. That was the runway, and right now it is doing that maneuver to face the runway, turning back basically. So yes, that is what's happening here. They are now descending fast. You can see that.
All right, we have 3 landing gear down and locked. Now the pilots are going to be landing on runway 34 today, so that's coming from the south and towards the north for those of you on site watching. And for the non-pilots tuning in, those numbers represent the first 2 numbers of the magnetic heading of the runway. So for example, 34 is 340 degrees on your compass. We are just about 1,000 feet above the field now and on final.
I must say, the
500
pilots
feet
did
above
have
the runway.
that. Oh wow!
300 feet.
Pilots are really skilled for this, flying
Over
this
the
vehicle.
threshold?
Pitching up to, and the wheel is not there actually for the front part of it.
Main
and
gear touchdown.
We have touched down.
And we're going to hold it just like this for a minute before bringing the nose down. Can see they're already celebrating inside there.
And
the nose is coming down now.
Yeah. You can see actually that is not the wheel there. That's
nose gear touchdown.
One thing to slow itself down. That's a skid basically. Skids on the surface. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The numbers are like glitching out there. The altitude, the speed and all those things. But everything is good right now. And we have the stopping. Finally.
That incredible drone footage here as we come in. And there is full stop.
All right.
A perfect landing. Virgin Galactic 4 mission specialists on board from our operational home base, Spaceport America. A beautiful day of flight. What a moment. Congratulations to everybody on board, and of course our very own Spaceship Unity, who returned to space today. And of course we also saw beautiful flying from our Eve crew, CJ and Kelly, and brilliant work by our chase pilots, Jamil and Patrick, all of whom are still in the air right now. Great job to you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. More than half a century since the world rejoiced when humans first achieved spaceflight, Richard Branson fulfills his dream of experiencing space travel. Congratulations to Richard and Virgin Galactic. Congratulations also to Colin Bennett and Sarisha Bandla on becoming astronauts. And also a welcome back to space for David Mackay, Mike Masucci, and Beth Moses.
Well, stay tuned, folks. We will be hearing more from our astronauts later in the broadcast, and we also have a special musical performance to celebrate today's milestone. But first, let's hear some thoughts on the flight. Chris, you've returned from space several times now, both on a capsule and a space shuttle. How does this landing compare to the landings you've experienced?
Well, obviously, that's a much more gentle landing than a capsule on my Soyuz flight. The shuttle 2 times is quite similar to what the crew just went through. But for them, of course, it's such a personal experience now. And what are they going to do with this? How are they going to take this amazing view of the Earth that they've just had and the kind of brave new nature of what this whole team has just accomplished? How are they going to now make that part of who they are, and how are they going to share this experience with other people? You know, that's what's going through their minds right now. I'm just so proud of the whole team. That was an amazing accomplishment.
It was epic. And, you know, as somebody who has spent, what, like 4,000 hours in space, is it? Yeah. How do you feel about, you know, a space line for the Earth opening?
It's what I've been hoping that we've been able to do ever since I was a little kid, dreaming about it and during my space flights, so that the technology gets good enough and someone has the tenacity and the vision to push beyond all the resistance and the naysayers and to create a capability for, you don't have to be a professional astronaut for your whole life to see the world this way. I think, I just couldn't be more proud of all the people that work at Virgin Galactic, and I'm just so delighted at what this open door is going to lead to now.
Okay,
it's a great moment.
the official figures which they said was around 282,000 feet. So, and we know that in America it's like 80 kilometer. It's considered as space. So 282 is like 86 kilometer, 85.9, which is 86 kilometers. So yeah, they made it to the space. Exactly.
In the studio. But you know, when I think of my daughter on site, just like you said, it's like, this is what it's all about. You know, it means the world to me that not only that she was here to witness history today, but that she's going to watch me, her mom, become an astronaut. You know, that's going to be normal in her mind. That's just another thing moms do. Of course, they go to space. You know, and I just think that's incredible. She's going to grow up knowing that not even the sky is a limit. And I think the other thing that struck me is it's just such a powerful reminder of how much can change in a single generation. My mom is also on site here today. She's going to kill me for aging her, but when she was born, human beings hadn't yet been to space. And when she was growing up, women weren't eligible. And now here she is watching her daughter prepare for a space flight of my own. You know, it gives me something.
Absolutely. You know, and the moon landing is what inspired Sir Richard Branson. And so who knows what, you know, Delta V watching today, what that's going to inspire her to do and other people in her generation. It's so incredibly exciting.
It is.
And folks, this is just the beginning. Virgin Galactic is a venture as a catalyst. It's the start of a whole new space age, which is completely different from the one before. You know, space was something that was unattainable by all but a very small group of people, and it was a preserve of government agencies for national pride. And this is totally different. You know, it's the new space age, which is, you know, for Kelly, for Delta V, for Chris, for me, it's for everybody. And, you know, we're making it more accessible to the public. So I know, you know, the full effect of what happened today will not be felt for some time, but it will touch many generations to come. Now, Chris, you were aboard the ISS for about 5 months at one point, right? Did the view out the window ever get old?
Gosh, no. At the end of my 5 months on the space station, we were getting back into our ship, just sort of like the crew returned today. And just before I got into my spacesuit, I went over to the window just to try and soak up a little more of that incredible perspective. You know, the world is so generously beautiful. And you see it in a whole new way. You can see for thousands of miles in each direction. And you can see the curvature of our planet. And the reality of where we all live suddenly becomes part of who you are. And right up to the last second, I was there with my nose print on the glass, you know, trying to not miss the magnificence of this entire experience.
Yeah, and you took like thousands of photos up there too, right? I mean, does that even give you a glimpse of what it was like as a reminder?
The coolest astronaut which went to ISS at that time. He did very, you know, many experiments which actually were meant for kids.
And the way to sort of catalyze them again and be able to watch those videos and think about of the beauty of what they've been through and let it sort of sink into who they are. And so, yeah, it really helped me now remember the richness of the experience. So it'll be great to see the videos that they recorded on board.
Absolutely, and that richness sticks with you too. And you have a TED Talk actually that you talked about, well, a lot of things, right? Overcoming fear, walking through spider webs, but also, my favorite part of it was when you talked about seeing Earth from above and the transformation that it has on people. We call it the overview effect that I really hope and I'm sure that our astronauts today experience. What was that like for you?
Yeah, I've been so lucky to see the world from that point of view and as one of the very first human beings to have the responsibility and the privilege of being up there and to have a vehicle like Virgin just put up today that is allowing more eyes than just my two to see it, to understand not just the geology of the world, but us on it, all 7 billion of us. And we're on board this little spaceship of Earth, and you can actually get a palpable sense of that from on board the ship. And the crew of Unity, their 22nd flight here today, they now have that inside of them. And all the subsequent crews. Kelly, when you fly as well, you're going to have a chance to sort of shift your permanent perspective of how all this works. Go from being a two-dimensional human to now suddenly really understanding the 3 dimensions and what this planet truly looks like. And it's going to do us all good. As many people can see that as possible.
Absolutely. And, Kelly, I know you're going to be conducting a lot of experiments on board while you fly with Virgin Galactic, but I hope you're taking some time to look out the window and enjoy that too, right?
I'm going to have to carefully choreograph precious time at that window just to soak it in and enjoy the moment and be in the moment.
Definitely. And, while we're waiting for our crew to disembark now, can you actually tell us a little bit about your experiments?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to be flying healthcare and fluid experiments on board my research flight. The first one is the AstroSkin. It's a wearable sensor system designed to monitor how spaceflight affects the human body. The cool thing about it is the AstroSkin is currently worn on board the International Space Station by astronauts, but my flight will be the first time that we're collecting data during launch, reentry, and landing. So I'm really excited to contribute to some novel data collection for the next generation of astronauts. Another experiment I'm flying is a fluid experiment designed to evaluate the behavior of liquid in a confined environment in microgravity. That's also going to be fun because I'm going to be interacting with a fluid cell that has a camera attached to it, and data collected from that experiment can help inform new technologies related to life support systems or novel designs for syringes for administering medicine in space. So I'm very excited for the opportunity to take my payloads with me to space.
That is the significance of suborbital flights. Suborbital flights are not dead yet.
Castleberry is approaching the vehicle now, and they are going to do a medical debrief with the crew. So we'll see that here momentarily. And our crew is actually going to join us later in the broadcast where they will receive their astronaut wings. So, Chris, I'm sure you have a vivid memory of the day you received your wings.
I don't know why this is glitching so much today.
On our chest, they're a measure of a lifetime of work and purpose and personal accomplishment. And all of the different organizations, of course, have their own wings. But when I flew in space, it was the very that was on my chest. So that was a huge honor for me to have, the Prime Minister of Canada to take these new wings that had minted to show a new human accomplishment, and then for me to have that as part of who I am for the rest of my life. And so it's a huge honor for me that I'm going to be part of that ceremony for these folks that just flew now.
I was just going to say, now you get to return that honor to the crew today. It's so exciting. And you have a really important role to help present those astronaut wings. So we're all looking forward to seeing that. As our pilots and passengers prepare to make their way back to Spaceport, let's hear a little bit more about our special musical guest who will celebrate their arrival.
Thanks, Veronica. And if you thought that was incredible, folks, someday you're going to tell your grandchildren that you were watching the live stream when Virgin Galactic and Richard Branson first launched into space. And they'll say, "We know, Mima, you've told that story 100 times. But then you'll say, even the part about Khalid performing the song New Normal for the first time, and then they'll sit up excitedly and they'll say, really? You were there? And you'll say, yes. Because, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes, he
here
is
to debut
performing
his new
today.
single, New Normal, welcome to the stage, El Paso's very own Khalid.
Okay, so his new song is, you can listen, but I will face the copyright issues. But okay, let's listen it.
You find your ways, never enough. Though it's been tough for you, losing touch, but summer has its end sometimes. And although I can't promise you much, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So you make it better somewhere in darkness, it's hitting you the hardest. No one predicted how far we came. It's not what you wanted. How fast time goes, living in the moment, taking you for granted. It's a new normal, it's up for us to live in it, not to understand it. Hey, you find your ways, never enough. Love, it's been tough for you, losing touch, but I heard summer has its end sometimes. Although I can't promise you much, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You unpick your pages, how the story goes. And this life is what you make it. It's out of your control. It's almost like you're screaming, but no one hears your voice, 'cause everything is changing. Yeah, yeah, 'cause everything is changing, and I can't stop a thing. Whoa, whoa, yeah, everything is changing. Yeah, oh, whoa, just yeah, 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 just take me back to the start. Just yeah. You find your ways, never enough. Though it's been tough for you, losing touch, but summer has its sometimes. Thank you. Woo. All right, this next song right here, it's the fun one. This one right here is called Better. Thank you guys for joining me.
Okay, I can see something from the comments. Looks like it.
Love to see you shine in the night like the diamond you are. I'm good on the side, it's alright, just so me in the dark. No one's gotta know what we do. Hit me up when you're bored. Oh, nah, yeah. 'Cause I live down the street, so we meet when you need and it's yours. All I hear is Nothing feels better. Nothing feels better. Nothing feels better. Nothing feels better. No, yeah. We got high. This is what you like on me. Nothing feels. You say we're just friends, but I swear when nobody's fine. Hey, you keep my hand around your neck, we connect. Are you feeling it now? 'Cause I am. I got so high the other night, I swear to God, I'm from my feeling ground. Hey, hey, back against the wall, this is all you've been talking about. My head, nothing feels better than this, no, yeah. Nothing feels, hey, hey, now. We got high. This is what you like, I'll admit. Nothing. No left, right. Take it back, bring it side to side, like that, right. No left, right. Take it, oh yeah. Nothing feels, yeah. Nothing feels better than this. Nothing feels better than this. Hey. Thank you. I have one more song for you guys. This one right here is called Talk.
Okay.
Hey, how you doing up there? Y'all good? All right. Can we just talk? Can we just talk about where we're before we get lost? Limit your thoughts, can't get what we want. Never felt like this before. I apologize if we're moving too far. Can we just talk? Can we just figure out? Hey, yeah. Starting off right, I can see it in your eyes. I can tell that you want more. What's been on your mind? There's no reason we should hide. Tell me something I ain't heard before. Hey, you've been about it, and it's you want more. So stop about it. Can we just talk? Yeah. Can we just talk about love before we get lost? Let me your thoughts, can't get what we never felt like this before. I apologize if we're moving too far. Can we just talk? Can we just talk? Yeah, oh nah. Penthouse view, got some flowers in the room. I'll make sure I leave the door unlocked. I'm on the way, swear I won't be late. I'll be there by 5 o'clock. Hey, you bet about it, and it's me you want. So stop about it. Can we just talk? Can we just talk? Yeah, yeah, before we get lost, yeah, let me I've never felt like this before. If we're moving too far, can we just talk? Yeah, can we just talk? Can we just before we get lost, yeah, let me yours. Yeah, yeah, I've never felt like this. Yeah, but can we just talk?
Oh my God, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Virgin Galactic. Thank you guys.
Okay, so did you like the songs? I myself felt that the voice was too loud for the music, and that made this performance a bit on the lower side, I must say. But obviously, and if it was meant to be a celebration song, they might have gone with some rock music or some dance music. That would be I mean, suggestion for the next time, maybe. Okay. Khalid just came by himself for the premiere of his song. Okay, we'll be with you shortly. Fine. So finally, we have some time here to discuss about the launch now. Okay. Oh, whoa, whoa. So how were you guys? Bollywood Bangla can't be beaten by anything. I must say that. That is the best thing, which would be so cool to have the music on the Bollywood rock, any music on Bollywood music on just after the landing of the Beyondnauts, right? Okay, so right now you can see the Virgin Galactic being pulled by this car, I guess, because obviously it does not have that front wheel. I think so. It is being pulled, and you can actually see those solid rocket particles, that fuel which it uses, that particles on the nozzle, all over the nozzle. Right now, it is going on to the hangar. There, they will have to, again refill the nitrous oxide for the oxidizer, and obviously do some cleaning for the solid rocket motor. And then finally, it will be ready for the next flight. So, you see, the only cost, actually, if we just disregard the manpower cost and everything, the only cost for this mission is for the nitrous oxide and for that solid rocket motor fuel. That's it. I mean, yes, their support staff and everything, and everything is there other than that, but you can see the only cost is of the fuel, and that was solid fuel.
And I really enjoyed that. One of the lyrics in your new song was, I never predicted, how far we've come. And
yeah.
Look what we were just at here today. What did you think of the whole thing today?
Super nerve-wracking. Honestly, it's a dream to even be here, so I'm so thankful. And like you said, look how far we've came just as humanity. That was so memorable, so historic. We went to space.
But I mean, you are the youngest person ever to have reached, 20 billion streams, I think, on Spotify?
Yeah.
So where do you think we are in history? What does this mean for you?
For me, I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful, and it seems surreal. And I think that's kind of how we all feel about the times right now. It's super surreal, but it's true. It's our new normal. So we're going to have to get used to it because we're going to see a lot more to come.
What are you dreaming of doing in your life?
I dream that I get the confidence to go up there, too.
That'd be great. And I think you tweeted out, if you went to space, what would you take with you? So
I would.
What would you take?
One of my best friends gave me a crystal for my birthday. I would take that with me, too.
You would take that?
Yeah. I really cherish my friends.
Well, that was just beautiful listening to you on stage, and I'm so delighted to have a chance to get to know you and to share something so magnificent with you here today.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
And I've been lucky enough to fly in space myself, and you are going to love the experience when you have a chance to go.
I know I will.
Yeah, I've been outside of a spaceship watching the world turn underneath.
Unreal.
And what we really need is ships like this one that's behind us that can let people get up there, people with your
make
kind
it
of
conventional
talent,
for everyone to go.
but your kind of talent to then
thank you.
share it in a way that other people can really understand.
Oh, you're too nice. Thank you. I really appreciate
So
that.
I'm really excited. You think maybe, I mean, you're one of the great singer-songwriters. Do you think maybe some of the stuff you've seen today is going to inspire you?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. It inspired me already.
Yeah, it's just such a delight to see your
Okay, so the voice is a bit glitchy from the piano.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much, Virgin Galactic, as well. Like, I really appreciate it because none of this would have happened without you guys. Everybody, all the engineers, everybody working on set. I really appreciate it.
So, Khalid, you see right there is the door that you get in through. You know, and then you get into your seat, and then you could have a chance to go experience that for yourself.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see.
I think you'll love the experience. To be able to not just
He's
get up
selling the
on
ticket,
stage
right?
and see all the thousands of people, but to get so far up and see the world. It's just a
Wonderful.
beautiful experience. So
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you
And
so
we
much.
have the astronaut,
Wonderful day to be
Sarisha
together.
Bandla.
I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Other astronauts coming in. Richard Branson below. Here is the man. Here is the man. There you go. Finally, he literally had to wait for around 70 years. No one was doing it, so he did it himself. And now, must be his grandchild or what? I don't know. Okay. Family get together is always good. He must have this actually must have changed his perspective about everything right now. The overview effect when you get into space and you see actually the Earth moving below, your perspective about life changes altogether. I must say that. Okay. There you go. These kids will also one day travel to space, and that would be orbital. Right now, Virgin Galactic is focusing on suborbital flights, right? But let the time pass, and you will see some orbital flights too. Let them earn the money first here from the suborbital, and then you will see the orbital crew going to the orbitals tour also. And there goes the SpaceShipTwo from behind. Why have they switched on the music? I don't understand. That would have been so much better if we would have listened to the raw audio. Why is there microphone man roaming around if we can't even hear the music? Oh, sorry, the voice, the sound from there. That would have been so much better, 100 times better. Okay. Congratulations to Sir Richard Branson and all the astronauts who were there in this flight to finally become the astronauts. Yeah, that happened, and you just saw that happening. That was so cool. Finally, imagine these little kids literally, seeing that happen. Right now, they don't even know their world right now. Their world is like just a family members. Wow.
And what a hero's welcome they received. That was so adorable, seeing all the friends and family greet them now officially as astronauts. Now we're going to give them just a minute here to freshen up. They're entering Gaia now, which is what we call the first level here at Spaceport America. So like I said, they're going to get an opportunity here to just freshen up. But while we wait, let's hear more about some of the other Virgin companies in our Virgin family.
Virgin Orbit. Okay, now I can't play this. So let's guys just have a quick rundown of what actually happened till now. Whoa. Let me just say this thing now, first of all. Yes, the stream was not up to the mark for us spaceflight fans, but I guess they were targeting the other audience, not the spaceflight audience, but the normal people who are not yet, passionate about space. So that's why they had this type of stream. Okay, cool enough. But the main thing which I would have loved to watch was the actual Richard Branson and all the astronauts going into the VSS and all those pre-flight activities and then finally taking off. That was also one thing which they could have shown, right? The Virgin Orbit, here you can see we saw the takeoff, and that was also breathtaking, I must say that. And yeah, finally they released the Spaceship Unity. And the Spaceship Unity then just accelerated itself towards the space, and those beautiful mark diamonds are from the engine. Oh, that made my day. I love those. Oh, they saw a bit of a picture there.
See how all of the Virgin companies are making a difference in the world. Now, you saw some of our footage from our previous flights in that video as well. Let's see some highlights from today's flight.
Yes, please give us the highlights, and let's hope we do have some raw footage out there. Let's see. Okay, so these are the pre-flight activities right here.
So this is the crew at the end of the apron here. And you can see Richard getting out of his Land Rover, getting ready to board spaceship with the crew.
Oh,
and there they are, getting fastened into their seats and getting ready for takeoff.
Obviously, this is just a plane, so yeah, it's safe to have everyone out there. And this was the takeoff moment. I am saying, right, this takeoff moment is also very much breathtaking. They should have shown this thing also, but yeah, whatever. Hey, here you go. That is the takeoff, which you just saw, and they were in the, oh yeah. Some of the cool footage right now, we can see that.
Just a beautiful takeoff, and I imagine that's just so comfortable and intuitive for people to experience on their way up and give them, you know, a way to contemplate what's about to happen. And there's release there, the exciting moment, lighting the rocket motor.
Ignition.
And headed to space.
Whoa.
That's so cool. So you can see the moment when they release right there.
Released, and then the
Kelly,
ignition.
are you so excited to experience that?
Unbelievable. So,
that is an instant amount of acceleration.
Only a handful of humans have ever experienced
you
in
can
the
see
world, and for the first time,
doing the experiments also. Very less time.
Floating in zero G.
Their flights focused solely on function, but for the next generation of astronauts, we have this opportunity to optimize on experience, and there's just no one better to curate that experience than Richard Branson and Virgin Galactic. I mean, this is just the next generation of spaceflight.
Absolutely, and customer service is certainly his specialty, and you know, we do everything in style here, including that stylish landing on the same runway they took off of, and there it is now being towed back. Again, this is footage from today's flight just moments ago. Right now, we have our crew in Gaia, which is the first floor of our Spaceport America's Gateway to Space building. And we call this the Gateway to Space because it is literally the building, the last building that human beings step foot in before becoming astronauts.
And these moments, like Richard has said, this is what it's all about. His grandchildren, the next generation, I mean, that generation is going to grow up with unprecedented inspiration, exposure, and access to space. It's going to fundamentally change the way we live, the way we see ourselves and the world. It's unbelievable to be here today to get to see this.
Actually, in this time, yes, it was like 4 minutes only. The 0G time was 4 minutes, but it seems very less when compared to all the waiting we do, right? That's why when does the 4 minutes pass, we don't even know. But yeah, it was the 4 minutes 0G which they experienced. Okay. Cool.
Your great-granddad was an extraordinary man, full of wise words. He would often remind me that life is wonderful, and it is that simple truth which has driven me as I built businesses, raised my family, and embarked upon my many adventures. You are at the very start of life. It is an incredible gift, and it is there for the taking. It will deliver highs and lows, but by living it to the full, by always trying to do the right thing, and by keeping a childlike sense of adventure, it will indeed be wonderful. I used to think of space as a destination, but I now realize it's a journey with some amazing milestones along the way. Your lives will be transformed by space, and it will give your generation the planetary perspective on which the future of humanity rests. That we're all in this together, fellow travelers on Spaceship Earth.
I don't know what SpaceX will be doing it, because they literally will be launching to the orbit, so a longer flight, and that to inspiration for it. That's what I'm talking about. Their first commercial space flight will. Whoa, that was cool.
That is just really heartwarming, and it's so cool that his grandchildren could be here with him today to celebrate his space flight. Now, our crew pretty soon here are going to receive their astronaut wings, and I'm hearing that Gaia and the ramp are just in full celebration mode at this point. And let's go ahead and check out some of the action down there. Kevin, who have you got there with you?
Thank you so much, and we are here where the action is, and it is, you can feel it. It's so much fun out here. Everyone's excited. And who do I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
Sharon Hagel from Orlando, Florida.
And welcome, Sharon. And what did you think of today's launch?
Oh my God, it was so exciting. I'm beyond it's over the moon. And I didn't realize it was going to be so emotional. I'm still shaking. This is incredible.
You and me both, Sharon, and it's really exciting. And I also hear that you're actually a future astronaut who's going to go on the ship yourself.
Yes, I'm so proud to be a part of this community, this family of astronauts from the very get-go. It's an amazing group of like-minded individuals who love space.
That's amazing, and I'm excited for you, and I can't wait till that moment. And in fact, thank you so much for speaking with us. We have another future astronaut, I think, coming right over here as well. Mr. Ron, I think we spoke a little bit before. Yes, can you tell us what your name is and where you're from?
Yeah, it's Ron Rosano, San Francisco Bay Area.
Well, welcome here to Spaceport America. What do you think of the location?
Oh, it's always fabulous here, and it's such an emotional day, and not only for us that are connected to Virgin Galactic and the project, but as we turn a corner and expand the thinking and understanding of our world and us as a planet, and to think of the views and the ways things are going to spread for students and people around the world, and thinking of us on a spaceship, Earth, and us a crew on Earth is a very emotional, profound thing.
That's amazing. Yeah, so what are you looking forward to most when you go up to space here in the near future?
Oh, it's hard to say. I think you would expect a change in your understanding of the world and in the way it relates to you.
That's fantastic. And I hear you work with children in some organizations. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. I've been organizing video conferences with students from classrooms all over the world with me and other future astronauts, and also staff from Virgin Galactic. So we give students the opportunity to have a one-on-one Q&A session with people that are going to space and people that are building spaceships, and that's incredibly rewarding work. And we're so glad to do it.
Oh, we're glad to have you here, and thank you so much for speaking with us today. And we have one more guest down here we wanted to talk to, and what is your name?
Hello, I'm Zana Vazim, and I'm from Toronto, Canada.
Well, welcome here to New Mexico. What did you think of today's event?
It was unbelievable, unreal, and truly out of this world.
Have you ever thought about going to space yourself?
Yes, actually, I am a future astronaut. I'm the youngest one so far, and the reason that I think space is so inspirational and important is because it represents the unity of humanity. It truly is, doesn't belong to one country, one nation, and it's without borders. And so my dream is not just for myself to experience space, but for women and young girls to experience it too.
Well, you are truly an inspiration, and I can't wait for your journey. It's going to be coming up soon, and you know, today marks the big day. It's a catalyst for all this, you know, a new day for us in space travel, and here we are. Can't wait to get back in the crowd, so we'll be checking back with you guys in a bit. Back to the studio.
It's great to see some of our future astronauts here today. Right now, we have over 600 future astronauts from 60 different countries. I know all of them today, whether they're here at Spaceport America with us or watching from around the world, will be eagerly anticipating the day they arrive here with their friends and family, ready to take in their space flight.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, our amazing, historic, heroic crew are ready to come on over to be fitted for our wings ceremony right outside.
Let's hear from a Virgin Galactic astronaut, our chief astronaut instructor, Beth Moses, who witnessed those life-changing views firsthand.
My name is Beth Moses, and I'm an astronaut and the chief astronaut instructor here at Virgin Galactic.
Okay, so looks like we actually got something right today, and it went really well. It was expected to be good, but yes, it went really well. That is the thing which is good. And talking about you know, a treat for the rich people, many people are commenting that also right now, but let me just tell you that this is the foundation stone, right? Rich people can afford it right now, agreed, but once it becomes a new normal for rich people, it will open up for the regular people also. This is what happens whenever any technology is introduced, right? When the computer was introduced, when the mobile phone was introduced, everything was like very costly at first, right? It was affordable to only rich people, but then as the time went by, they improved the technology. They you know, had this for in terms of space flight, they will have this so many flights to have that profit margin, so it will eventually come down. But obviously it needs to start somewhere, and someone needs to you know, what do you say, push it, right? Fund it. So this is what rich people can do right now. And once it is accessible to you know, people, normal people also, that would be the best day of my life. And if I will be alive at that time, I would definitely want to go to space. And maybe at that time, maybe right now we are just seeing the you know, pinnacle, not the pinnacle, the foundation stone of space tourism. Now the next step would be an orbital hotel. Orbital hotel. Would you like to stay in an orbital hotel? That would be so cool. I mean, the food will be all floating around and everything and all, but first international space station is there right now. Those space stations are there, but that is the science phase right now. That part of the you know, that part is not opened yet to the commercial people, but will be opening. That part will also be opening real soon, I must say. That orbital hotel, the hotel on moon, once we have that base there, then moon hotel is like yeah, we are there. That's what I mean. I must say that we have some time for that, but orbital hotel, I can imagine that in my lifetime at least. So yep.
Do not do it justice, and I believe everywhere you fly there will be something magic about the Earth, and here in New Mexico you're going to have the Hope Diamond because White Sands is right next to the runway. And I think it's amazing that you are stopped and still, and your body has a chance to slow down, and you get this, forgive me, God's eye view of Mother Earth. That stuck in my soul. It's gonna stick in everyone's soul. It's amazing. It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen. I cannot wait for Richard and everyone to experience this and let it soak in and let it do good.
It's always so moving to hear Beth speak about that, and it's an experience that Richard just got to experience, as well as Colin and Sarisha. And I am hearing they are all ready now to come out for the wing ceremony, and what a hero's welcome they're going to get. Let's go ahead and shift our program over to the ramp to capture these festivities. Please welcome the Chief Executive Officer of Virgin Galactic, Michael Colglazer.
Wow, okay. We'll see some festivities around here.
All right. This was a morning, wasn't it? This is a morning we are going to remember for the rest of our lives. I'm really grateful, I'm really honored to be with you here. Look at the setting. I saw Governor Lujan Grisham earlier. There is no better place to go to space than New Mexico. As it goes. I'm still kind of speechless from it all. How about you guys? It is there. Well, we did something incredible today. It's years in the making, almost a couple decades in the making. It couldn't have been done without the hundreds of people, over 1,000 before we got through with everything getting done here. And just a congratulations to the team. For all of you who are watching online, you'll see a few of us on stage, but this was made up by thousands, and we're incredibly thankful to this team. So great job, everybody. You know, there's one person in the Virgin Galactic family who's not here today, but who is an incredible, incredible force and guiding light for us. And that was Professor Stephen Hawking. And Stephen Hawking was an inspiration to many of the team at Virgin Galactic. He was an inspiration to Richard through the years. And many people don't know, but Stephen Hawking actually named our spaceship Unity.
Whoa.
He's an incredible person. And at a moment like this, I think the words that should introduce our astronauts should be the words that Stephen Hawking himself spoke in 2016 when we rolled out our Spaceship Unity. So with that, if we could please hear from the amazing Stephen Hawking.
I guess. Okay, yep, they are. And now again the music. No, don't want the music right here. That would have been so better if we could get the original sound, right? But again, guys, these are the astronauts. These people coming out from that building have just gone to the space. They are like those rare people who go to the space and experience the weightlessness, the views, and the feeling, which can't be described on words. So yeah, I'm jealous of them. And the suborbital flight is actually the first step towards the space tourism, because the suborbital flights tend to be much cheaper than the orbital ones. You know, the Falcon 9 cost around $50 million in reusable configurations, right? And now that 50 million is, you know, going to be divided into by 6 people if the Crew Dragon is considered. So you know, the cost could be very high. So $250,000 is affordable. Mr. Beast can afford it, obviously. Now the next thing would be, I know he would do that. He would like book the entire Virgin Galactic space plane or the New Shepard capsule, and then he will go to the space. the next thing is that only. I'm betting you that is going to happen. Okay, let's listen in.
Sorry, I was told, sorry, everything. I have dreamt of this moment since I was a kid, but honestly, nothing could prepare you for the view of Earth from space. I mean, the whole thing was just magical. And suddenly, you're looking down and you're seeing 3 people looking up at you. Hang on a minute, what are you doing down there? We have this incredible Earth. Anyway, I'm just taking it all in. It's just unreal. I was so honored to test the customer experience. So initially, I thought testing the customer experience was a little bit of an excuse to get me on. It wasn't. It's so great to just get out there, test the customer experience. You get lists and lists of little things, and it's the little details that matter. So we are going to now have no details to sort out with this space line. This remarkable crew of mission specialists, and now, any second now, and now astronauts. They are a complete delight to have flown with, yeah, it was just, we've had such a great time. An enormous thank you, obviously, to our incredible spaceship pilots.
Yeah, that is one
and
thing to be.
and to our mothership pilots. I think they must, I don't know where they are. If they're here, they should come and join us on stage. Anyway, just to say, and obviously, sorry, Beth, Colin, and Sarisha, if you didn't know who they were. Anyway, thanks to all of you for being here at Spaceport America. It's hot, I'm sorry, but thank you for standing out here. The spaceport is the most stunning building. When you come in the morning and see this thing emerging from the desert, I think it could be one of the 10 wonders of the world. So awesome to arrive on a bicycle and to across this beautiful New Mexico countryside. And thank you to New Mexico for hosting us, for building this, for everything. Khalid, thank you for performing. We loved. Hello. And where's his lovely wife? Come on. Right. He's had quite a month. Stand by him. Yeah, this beautiful new baby will be born this month, and this beautiful baby was born a couple of years ago. And thank you for letting him come with us. I just would also like to thank my wonderful, beautiful wife, Joan, who's hopefully here somewhere. Yeah, we've been lucky enough to have been together for, where is she? There, for 45 wonderful, wonderful years, and we've been very, very blessed. And we've got Holly and Sam here, our grandchildren, and pretty well everything. Lots of friends. Sadly, none from England. So to you, we'll get you out here one day. But love you lots, all of you. And just finally, I know I said it from the spaceship, but I just want to say thank you to every single person who has believed in Virgin Galactic, the team who have worked so hard to make this dream come true. Love you all. It's 17 years of painstaking work, and the occasional horrible down, but by and large ups with it, and today was definitely the biggest up. So thank you, all of you. Love you all. So the mission statement that I wrote inside my spacesuit was to turn the dream of space travel into a reality for my grandchildren who are here, for your grandchildren, and for many people who are alive today, for everybody. And having flown to space, I can see even more clearly how Virgin Galactic is the space line for Earth. We're here to make space more accessible to all, and we want to turn the next generation of dreamers into the astronauts of today and tomorrow. We've all of us on this stage have just had the most extraordinary experience, and we'd love it if a number of you can have it too. And with that in mind, I have some news. So today, Virgin Galactic is thrilled to announce that we have partnered with Amaze to open space for everyone. So if you go to amaze.com, I think /space to enter, you have a chance to go to space.
Whoa.
And every donation supports a charity called Space for Humanity. And you'll be entered into the Amaze sweepstakes for the chance to win not one, but 2 seats aboard one of the first commercial Virgin Galactic space flights.
That is cool.
And with my Willy Wonka hat on, a guided tour of Spaceport America given by yours truly, and I promise lots of chocolate in the factory. I mean, the exciting thing about this is that if enough people all over the world participate, it just means we can just keep on, the charity can keep on doing tickets for people. So it's a lovely sort of self-propelling way of just trying to get lots of people who couldn't have otherwise afforded to go to space. So just imagine a world where people of all ages, all backgrounds, from anywhere, of any gender, of any ethnicity, have equal access to space. And they will in turn, I think, inspire us back here on Earth. If you've ever had a dream, now is the time to make it come true. And I'd just like to end by saying, welcome to the dawn of a new space age. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's do pins. You can keep that. Okay, thank you. Let's do wings now.
VFA wings.
It has been a tremendous day here in New Mexico. A beautiful sunny day. It's the time of year where from the sycamores and the maples, the little keys, after having worked so hard to grow vertically, are going to detach from the mothership of their tree and float and tumble and plant a seed somewhere else. And the wings that are the Virgin Galactic wings that I have the huge privilege of pinning on the crew are those sycamore seeds and the sycamore wings. It's just a beautiful acknowledgement of the work and the passion and the risk and the accomplishment of everybody here, and specifically these 4 new astronauts. So if I could have you come up first here, please. All right, go.
Mountain Land.
Okay, so all the celebrations and everything is there, obviously. This is the Virgin style of celebrating, right?
Yeah, I'll grab that.
Oh, okay. Whoa, he is a very fit man, I must say that. He's like 70 years old and he... Whoa. Okay, cool. No, man, you can't do this. I mean, even younger people can't do it. And literally he did it and whoa. Okay, cool. So guys, after some glitch about my internet, I don't know why is it lagging so much nowadays, but it used to be a good one. I think I had to change it out. Okay, I'll see it. But today was the day when we saw something else. The dawn of the new space age, as he say. Okay.
That does it. Richard Branson has left the planet. An experience.
I think they have ended the stream now, I guess. Yep, that is the thing. Okay, cool. So guys, finally we saw the people going to the space, and finally the new space age has begun, where people from all the background can go on to the space. And yeah, the next thing you know is the New Shepard launch, launching Jeff Bezos into space, coming up on 20th of July, like not very far from now, 9 days, and you will see him also going to the space. So we are actually living in an era where people where actually the scientific people are going to the moon, and rich people can afford right now the space travel basically. And we are not very far away from when this thing will be priced at a cost of aircraft travel. And okay, so we do have something here. Excited to be the part of history today and to cheer Richard Branson and our brothers and sisters at Virgin Galactic. We are honored to join the community of space pioneers to celebrate this milestone. Yes, Elon Musk was seen there. Okay, cool. 5 decades of Apollo. Yep. Space is the virgin territory. Okay. Okay, so talking about the today's stream, that was a bit cringy, I must say. Some parts of it. Maybe we were expecting something else and we got something else. That's why, because yeah, the perspective for them to host this kind of stream was different for different targeted audience. So I guess they are fair for their coverage, but maybe they could have improved on with the the takeoff views and all those things. So I'm not like pulling the strings right now, but just a suggestion for the next launches, because that would be so great. The NASA Wallops, yes. Okay, so there is something going on with the sounding rocket launch today. August and Antares launch is also there. Okay, there are so many launches. Hopefully I will be able to stream the launches of the August. But right now, do we have something? No, 10:45 we will be having the Dynamo stream. 1 p.m. EDT. Okay. I don't think so I will be able to stream that though, but yes, today was the day when you just saw people from the normal background going to the space. Wow. How are you guys? I mean, did you just, were you excited for the whole flight? I was very excited, because this thing has opened up a new thing. I mean, a new era for all of us to remember. 1 p.m. is 6 minutes. 6 minutes. 1 p.m. EDT, they must be saying, right? What? Okay, 1 p.m. 1 p.m. what? One p.m. is in like 5 minutes, but here it's like 19 minutes for the stream to happen. Okay, whatever. Let's just check their website, which they say Omaze. What was that? Omaze.com? Amaze.com, what was it? Yeah, Omaze. Win a trip to space, which he did announce today. Make history and help expand access to space for all. Okay. But what do we have to do to get to the space? Okay, enter now. Enter to win. A winner is drawn. Donations benefit a great cause. You and your friend make history as you both live out your astronaut dreams. Okay. Sir Richard Branson for a personal VIP tour of Spaceport America. That is cool. But what do we have to do? Okay, donate. Donations. Cool. So this is a good thing. This is actually a good thing. You can donate, and you can also get a chance to be entered without contributing is also an option, which is win 2 seats, raise money to support an incredible cause. When you donate for your chance to win, you truly make a difference. It's a win-win. Okay, yes, I can do that, but okay, so we can actually just enter into the competition without even giving a donation. That is also cool. But I would definitely give a donation. First of all, I think we have to choose some organizations from here. Whichever organization we like, we have to choose, and then we just have to donate and they will choose for us. I don't know, maybe I'll have to basically go towards their to the website, but yes, this is the thing. Win a trip to space right now. You can just enter now and you fill out the form. If you can't donate right now, you can fill out the form and you should be eligible for the lucky draw, which will be happening. So I think that is for today. We had a beautiful liftoff. What should I say? Liftoff? No, the takeoff, and then the beautiful release, and then the ignition. Those mark diamonds, they just melt my heart. And then finally those couple of moments in space, the 4 minutes in space, and then finally the re-entry. They have actually gone through a life-changing experience today, and I would definitely want to go there once. I would definitely want to go there in space. Basically, if I have to choose between Virgin Galactic and New Shepard, I will choose Virgin Galactic because of that feeling. You can roam around in your capsule, you have enough space. But that is not the case with the Blue Origin. But again, the Blue Origin is giving us the rocket experience. You will be sitting on a rocket there. Here the flight will be longer. You are going in, sitting on the spaceship, and then it will take off. So it will be an experience which will not last for 8 minutes, because New Shepard experience lasts for only 8 minutes for launch to landing, and but here Virgin Galactic, it's like 1 hour or so. So yeah, it's like more money there, the more experience to money there. Okay, thank you so much. And Rauf, plane seems safer for tourism to me. Exactly. Rocket, okay. Look who's commented right now. Virgin Galactic has been congratulated by Blue Origin. That is cool. That is one thing which we want to see, right? In just 9 days, Blue Origin will also be flying Jeff Bezos, Wally Funk, Jeff Bezos' brother, and that $28 million guy. They have literally not revealed the name yet. I am very much surprised. I must be I think they were just waiting for their Virgin Galactic to finish their campaign, and then they will step in. That could be a good strategy also. But yes, that's what happened today. I've dreamt about this moment since I was a child, but going to space was more magical than I ever imagined. Yeah. Okay. subscribers for 10k. It's not happening, I know. 10k is like near, but it will take around a month for me to get there. I know how slowly my subscriber count rises, so yeah. Okay, so I think guys now I can end this stream. Okay, let me just first of all see if we have this dynamo launch going on. If we have, then we can see that maybe. Otherwise we have to wait. Yes, it's 13 minutes wait time, and then again it could be cancelled, so I am not risking it right now. I do have to study. I didn't study today at all, so better to leave now. Thank you so much for joining in, guys. Shashank, Diksha, if you didn't know today, the Indian American Sirisha Bandla, I don't remember but the name right now, but she was an Indian American and she flown to the space today, and that will mark like the third Indian American woman to go to space, right? One is Kalpana Chawla, Sunita Williams, and then this one, right? I guess that is the case. I don't know, but yeah. Cool. Okay guys, I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next launch. That would be the New Shepard launch. There are a couple of important and major launches today, and hopefully I will be covering all of them. The next one is the New Shepard. Then we have the Ariane 5 launch coming up, and then Ariane 5 is not a major launch, but I would be very likely be streaming it because Ariane 5 does not launch regularly, so I guess I'll be streaming that. And then finally the moment which we were waiting for, the CST Starliner on 31st of July, that is going to happen. So we'll meet you again at those times, and wish me luck and take care. Until then, this is Priyanshu Rohila. You just saw Rocket Gun. Stay